Kid Duelist. We have this is top 32,
Fuck
right?
out.
Top 32,
Demonetized.
right?
What's up?
Top 32, right?
Yeah, top 32. I got 26th.
And what deck did you end up playing?
I played the Pew Pew Boys, the Magical Muskets.
There we go. All right, so let's go ahead, get that deck profile going.
And make sure it's not 18 minutes.
Make sure it's not 18 minutes, right?
Oh, I know.
All right, so 3 Caspar. This is your Stratos. If a spell or trap is activated in the same column as him, you get to search a Magical Musket card.
Okay.
3 Starfire.
Big Pupil Boy.
They all have the same effect that you can activate Magical Musket spells or traps from the hand, so I'm not going to bother with that. But when a spell or trap is activated in the same column as her, she gets to special summon a Magical Musket monster from the deck.
Her? She's a girl?
Yes.
Quick to assume gender. This is 2019, bro.
It is.
You know what? I didn't bother to ask, okay? It's an inanimate cardboard.
It is a her.
It is a her, see? 3 Doc. His effect is when a spell or trap is activated in the same column as him, he recycles a Magical Musket card from the graveyard.
I hope it was a her. I really wish it was a her. It's just a cross-dressing man.
And then here's the least impactful Magical Musket, Kidbrave.
Liar.
I played it at 2 just because, well, if you get ashed, it kind of hurts because it forces you to discard a Magical Musket card, and that's basically its effect. When a spell or trap is activated in the same column as him, you discard a Magical Musket card, draw 2. But if you get ashed, it sucks.
Yeah.
That's it for the Magical Musket lineup.
No calamities, so that means absolutely
No Utopia double.
Huh.
It was a nightmare, and it made me way too anxious. I was going to draw a double or nothing, so I didn't bother running it. 3 Phantasme. Absolutely insane. You can make the BLS link with it, you can fix your hands, and you can prevent your Magical Muskets from getting targeted by Widow Anchors and impermanences.
Okay.
Which is actually really relevant.
Really, really relevant. And then the Spice, main deck 3 Dimension Shifter. This is MVP hand trap of the day. It won me so many games by itself, it's ridiculous. Against Orcust, against Pendulum, against Salad, it's dumb.
Oh, I bet. It's a macro on legs.
And then the final 2 monsters, we play 2 Ash Blossoms.
I didn't know you just played 2 Ash.
Yeah.
It's a hard once per turn. It's a hard once per turn, so I didn't want to see multiple in my hand at the same time.
So
but I actually saw myself citing this out a lot too.
There's a guy playing what? 1, 2, 9, 11 specific monsters that hard once per turn.
Yeah.
And 3 Dimension Shifter.
Yeah, but those are power hand traps though.
Duel.
This man would be like, I don't run Zephyros because it is once per duel. I can't see myself not using it more than once per match.
All right, on to the spells. 3 Frost Arm. This is Effect Veiler on crack. It negates a monster effect, and it reduces that monster to 0. Both attack and defense.
I had that happen to me way too many times.
Yeah, it's pretty nutty. 3 Mind Control. I'm going a blind second build just because it's way better against the meta to go blind second. It's way easier to break boards than it is to prevent them from making it going first. And then 2 Desires. Just draw power.
Why not 3? In a serious notion.
There's 2 reasons why. 1, I don't have a 3rd French. 2, I don't want to draw Desires off Desires. So those are my 2 reasons.
I like how his first one was, it's not French, so it can't be played.
He doesn't have a 3rd French secret.
2 Instant Fusion.
Why aren't those ulti?
Fuck you.
Why aren't they ulti French? I thought you wouldn't play it if it wasn't French.
No, that's German.
By the way, did anybody ever, go ahead and ask for a translation for that Desires?
Yes, but I was prepared. Sharking bitches, like they don't know what Desires does. Anyway, I played 2 Instant Fusion because it's hard once per turn, but I replaced
Cheeser. Your deck list said 3.
It did not. Shut the hell up. But going first, it allowed me to make Dweller Caspar turn 1, which is really good against Orcust. So this was like the best turn 1 play I could do with Starfire Instant Fusion. Main deck 2 Dark Ruler No More. This was for Thunder, This was also for monsters like Avermax and BLS with the immunities, because I have real issues dealing with them, but negating their effects makes it to where I can deal with them a lot easier. And that's just a free spell I can activate. And then the last spell, Upstart Goblin. This is a 41 card list. I am playing Upstart Goblin. It's a free activation. Leave me alone.
I mean, it's one of the best cards to run in the deck. So
Yeah.
It's like running Upstart and Sky Striker. If you're running 60 card Sky Striker, you're still playing Upstart.
True. Onto the traps. 2 Desperado. Or excuse me, 3 Desperado. I can't count. So this is by far the best trap. It's just spot removal. And it's really hard for them to counter.
I like to think that Last Stand, or not Last Stand, Fiendish Deal is the best trap.
And that's why you're not the musket player.
We play 2 Last Stands. The reason I play 2 is because this requires my opponent to activate a spell or trap, and I didn't want this to be the only Magical Musket card in my hand, because it requires way too much of my opponent doing something, whereas my opponent can normal summon. I can activate almost everything else. 2 Dancing Needle. The second Dancing Needle replaced the 3rd Instant Fusion, and it was definitely the correct choice. Due to if I banished 1 Dancing Needle off Desires, it kind of hurt because I need this against things like Orcust and Salads and Prank Kids. That too, yes. Shoutouts to Prank Kids Duelist. Then we played 1 Crooked Crown.
Garbage.
Literally the only reason I played this was to get around Celestial Spheres. And you can also do some cheeky plays against Guard Dragons, where if you special summon a Magical Musket using its effect into a column that LP points to, they can't use LP because they can't use that monster zone.
Nice.
So it played around Hermetic Celestial Spheres, and it prevented LP from going off. And then the last Fiendish Deal. This was for like True Draco and other cards like that, because it prevents my Magical Muskets from being destroyed by card effects. And if it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, I can search any Magical Musket card. So if they do something like Rage me and I chain Fiendish Deal, they have to destroy this first, and then I get a free search.
Yeah.
That's it for the main deck. That's 41 cards.
What position did I get at Air to Vegas?
I don't fucking know. Onto the extra deck.
You made
Best-
exactly 16.
Like I did fucking today.
Yeah, you got exactly 16. 3 max, MVP, absolutely busted. Its effect is when it's link summoned. You can either special summon Magical Musket monsters up to the number of backrow they control, or you can add Magical Musket spells and traps equal to the number of monsters they control. So you just go really plus.
What's the most satisfying thing whenever you use Max?
Not getting Nibiru?
Oh no.
That goes in the side deck, but I guess I'll reveal it. So red rebooting a trap heavy deck after I summon Max, because then if they set a back row, I get a free summon off of it.
And then you go to it, and then you like swing with all of them. Then you go to Trisbaena, and then you like link it to another Max and banish all their back row and burn them for game. It's essentially another cowboy.
Thanks, Rick. I appreciate the helpful commentary on my deck profile. Appreciate you.
No problem.
1 link Karibo. It's for the Thousand Eyes Restrict, just so I can get rid of it.
Did you? What was your like with way your extract panned out? What was your hardest matchup, and like what cards would you wish that you put in your extra deck for today?
I didn't really have a hard matchup against anything. I mostly lost against myself and 1 brick.
Were there any situations where you missed a certain card in your extra deck or no?
I might have missed a Nightmare Cerberus, and I'll get into what I replaced that with, but...
I mean, he's only 4 cards in his extra deck, and you're asking questions that we don't know yet.
Anyway, the only link 2 that I play, Nightmare Phoenix, I took out a Cerberus for reasons that I'll get into later. But it's really good. You can pop back row, and because Max points down, you'll get the co-link effect to draw, so...
I know what Phoenix does.
MVP for today, Trisbaena. I won in time against basically a set 5 Floodgate monster deck because of this card.
It's pretty legit.
Yep. Ningirsu, I just wanted a main deck. I wanted another out to things like BLS and Avermax. So Ningirsu was the way to go. It never came up. It didn't come up for those cards, but it did come up for something else. BLS. This overperformed today against Thunder Dragons, against Pendulum, because you can mind control. You can mind control their level 7 or higher and use it as link material for BLS and get the protection. And I also have Phantasme to do that with as well. Super Poly target, Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. This was just for Orcust mainly.
Is that your only target?
Technically no, but the other potential Super Poly target was Mud Dragon, but it was only used for instant fusion. It never came out via Super Poly today.
What do you think that in Muskets, do you think that if you use like Titan in the Thunder Dragon matchup, do you think that would be able to benefit you over something like Thunder Dragon, like the Starving Venom? Because you can Super Poly the 3 Thunder Dragons?
No, just because I don't really have that bad of a Thunder Dragon matchup to begin with.
Okay. See, I'm helping you.
1000 Eyes Restrict, the other instant fusion target to be able to steal monsters and bait negates, which was the entire point of this deck. Because this format is basically I deal with maybe 1 or 2 negations, whether it be Crescendo, Rage, or Roar, not Rage. Freaking Roar or Crescendo. So this forces out the activation, and I can continue off with my plays. Chimera Tech. This was just for Cyber Dragon Orcust. It never came up because I never played the deck. Ningirsu. This was just so when I take the Galateas or the Longirsus, I have something to overlay. That way I don't have to give it back, and it protects my Magical Muskets from things like Ghost Ogre. And then Dweller. This was the only rank 4 that I played because just going first against Orcust, being able to make this in Caspar just basically auto wins.
Unless they're those Mad Labs that go ahead and run that spicy ass Lava Golem.
I would legit fucking cry if I got Lava Golem. And then the last card in the extra deck, Boral Sword. I won so many games with Boral Sword, it was insane. Absolutely 100% a staple.
That's also not French.
Yeah, you know what? I don't. Onto the sideboard. Nibiru. I almost didn't play this, but I'm really glad I did because when I saw it, it won me most of my games that this resolves. Super Poly, obvious reasons. Cosmic Cyclone. I didn't do Twin Twisters because the majority of the matchups I was concerned with had 1 or 2 back row at most, and I was mostly concerned with just forcing out the counter traps. So what I would do is I would summon a musket into the same column as I knew the counter trap where it was. So, like say here, I would go Cosmic Cyclone. If they would negate it, I would still get the effect regardless.
Okay.
And then I played 3 Crackdown. This was also a last minute decision. But whenever I would be forced to go, whenever I'd be forced to go first, or whenever I felt like I was going first, I would side out the mind controls for this, and it would basically serve the same purpose. And then the last 3 cards, Red Reboot, absolutely insane in tandem with Trisbaena.
Oh yeah, it sounds like it was pretty stupid.
In tandem with Max and Trisbaena, but yes.
Well, unless you got ashed, but...
Well, then I would get the dick then.
You didn't even run Called by the Grave, right?
I didn't play Called by the Grave, no.
Well, what made you not run the Called by the Grave? I know that's pretty good in that deck.
Because I'm a blind second, and I don't know, I wasn't really... The only hand traps I'm really afraid of is Ash, and I was just like... The deck was already really freaking tight as it was. I didn't really know what to take out for the Call by the Graves, and the Dancing Needles served a very similar purpose.
Okay. That's pretty interesting.
As far as matchups...
Tell them how you dodge Impermanence in Valor.
Oh, so that's real easy. If you summon Max and you get Impermanence, Widow Anchored, or Valor, you just Desperado the Max. It's no longer on board and it resolves.
It's cheeky and awesome.
Very cheeky. So I went X2-1.
Did you do that at all, by the way? didn't you?
Not today. It never came up.
Okay.
But round one I played Salad. It was a draw. It was my only draw of the day. Round two I played against like set 5 stun. I won 2-1, so that's undefeated thus far with the exception of the draw. Round 3 I played against Heroes, against one of the better players in this state. I think he was just confused about how my deck worked. I think that might have contributed to why I was able to beat him. But round 3 against Heroes, I won. Round 4 against Orchist, I 2-0'd him. Round 5 against Pendulum, I 2-0'd him. Going into round 6, I was still undefeated, but I misplayed game 2, and that cost me the entire match basically. If I had not misplayed game 2, I would have won the entire match. So that's on me, not my deck. Round 7, I played against Pure Orchist. I bricked hard because I built this deck specifically to beat Orchist. So bricks happen, I guess. So X2 or 2 losses, 1 draw so far. Then round 8, I played against Lunalight Orchist. I 2-1'd it. Boral Sword, OTK came up multiple times. And then round 9, I played against Pendulum and I 2-0'd that.
All right. And any shout-outs?
Shout-outs to the Prank Kids Duelist, our most recent recruit for Team Eagle Factor. He's behind the camera. Shout-outs to my co-captain, Rick, for going over theories with me and ratios and play testing with me.
For all week. All week.
More than all week, like last 6 months. And then shout outs to the rest of my team, Eagle Factor, for cheering me on from the side, either at the event or at home. Anyway,
I'm tired. We're all tired.
Well, yeah, 9 rounds of Swiss. I'm tired too.
With no lunch.
Yeah, that's.
When did that start happening?
It's because we had 300 players.
So yeah. Anyway, that was my deck profile. That was my tournament report. 26th place. I could have done better if I didn't misplay against Thunder Dragon, but shit happens.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't 18 minutes. It was 17 minutes and 30 seconds. Otherwise, thank you so much. This is Prank Kid Duelist. Trying to make rogue decks meta. Have a great day.